Why do other companies in the healthcare space, Vishnu, want to look like United Health?
It's a very good model. What they can do is they can integrate up and down the vertical supply chain, control several million lives in the U.S., tens of millions of lives, and be able to control key parts of the healthcare services chain. So not only on the insurance side, but also on the pharmaceutical side through the PBM. But one key asset that CVS has that no other company up and down supply chain has is its retail pharmacy. And that's a key point here, and their opportunity here to leverage those assets and also minute clinics as well.
So, George, if I understand correctly, let's say we're going to role play here. I'm a big corporation. Most of them right now go to one company for health insurance for their employees and maybe a different company to manage the pharmacy benefits of their employees. This would be a one-stop solution for potential customers. Do I understand it correctly?
Yeah, you absolutely understand it correctly. And I think a key part of the selling proposition here for an integrated CVS and Aetna, which United is already in the market with, is that it can deliver an integrated care delivery model, probably at $60 to $70 per month less than the separate model of the PBM and the managed care company delivering the benefits separately.
$60 to $70 less than what the number is right now if you have to pay separately. What is the average total number now?
The numbers that we use in our model is generally somewhere between $10,000 and $12,000 per beneficiary per year. So figure about $1,000 a month.
In savings, wow, okay.
George, you have in your note, what does the government do? You believe very little. Can you explain?
I guess we think about that as like what happens with respect to the government and healthcare reform. What we've seen out of D.C. thus far is intransigence as it relates to repair, replace, reform, repeal Obamacare. We just don't see the government getting anything done meaningfully as it relates to healthcare reform that impacts the way the care is delivered right now. We think it's going to wind up being up to the private market to really take initiatives to control the cost of care and deliver higher quality.
Vishnu, are you sanguine about any kind of government intervention here or stepping in on this deal at all?
I don't believe so. I believe there'll be a little pushback as far as this deal goes. You already have another entity that looks like an Optum. You pointed it out already. This is not like when a couple years ago, when we had the major MCLs looking to merge and the government really pushing back hard on those deals, because those are similar companies. Here you're dealing with two companies that do two different services, PBM and MCL work. And I don't think the government really will have an issue here from antitrust perspective. And a lot of times when you look at what the government has done historically is they've allowed all of these service companies to merge and become larger because it becomes cheaper for them to provide these services. And ultimately that should lead, as they believe, to lower premiums and lower costs overall for U.S. consumers.
Vishnu, what about data? We're thinking about that a lot these days, especially post-Equifax. This company combined would have a lot of data. Should that be a concern? And are there other things that consumers should be concerned about with two companies of this size in this space getting together?
Data is always a concern no matter what market, what space you're talking about. That's a prime concern for any company, but it's up to the company to put in their own security measures and make sure they are compliant and really set up to store this data and keep it on track. As far as utilizing this data.
Yeah, are we sure we're comfortable with that? Or is that something where the companies perhaps need to proactively make a case for how they're going to do that, especially in light of the environment we're in?
That could be a possibility for sure. They have to show and really execute on storing the data properly. As we've seen, there's been huge data breaches in the past. This needs to be done perfectly.
George, we're running a deck on the screen that says threatened by Amazon with a question mark. Should there be a question mark there? Should we get rid of the question mark? Are they threatened by Amazon? Is this why this deal is happening?
So I think there's several ways to think about this from CVS's perspective. Number one is that their business, I wouldn't call it under attack, but they're definitely seeing a heightened competition from Walgreens on the retail side and from United's Optum on the PBM side. I think when you think about the attack to CVS, you also have to think about the attack to their equity value as it relates to Amazon. We actually think the ability of Amazon to impact CVS's business over the near to medium term is pretty small, but we're all watching what I would call the irrational impact of the threat of the incursion of Amazon on CVS's equity value. So part of the rationale for this deal is the strategy of the business strategy of doing the deal, Part of it is CVS's need to defend the equity value of its capital base and control its own destiny and have the ability to do deals in the future.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.